Okay, take two. I'm waiting for a phone call, so I can't put it on airplane mode, so this might get interrupted again. But hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've updated you guys on what's going on. If I remember correctly, the reason why I switched from Barnes-Jewish Hospital to SIU Infertility. Zeus, stop it. Sorry. The reason that I switched was because I had one test to do before I was doing IVF. We had the orientation date set up to learn how to inject all the medication. We were getting ready to order the medication. We already knew what pharmacy that we were going through. And we already knew what cycle. We already had my dates of when I would. We had the expected egg retrieval date as long as everything grew the way it was supposed to. So this was like 100% good to go scenario. Well, I think it was a day or two before I had the test, which it was an SHG. It was a salon histograph or something like that. It wasn't an HSG because I've had one of those. It was the SHG. And that was my last step before we fully ordered medication and everything. And if I remember correctly, they called me and told me that I owed them $1,000, and that if it wasn't paid today, or at least before my appointment, which was the day after they called me, that they refused to treat me. And I had told them, I asked them the dates of the service and everything, and they had informed me that this was like one bill that my insurance was still including in our deductible because we had met our deductible a long time ago, and that it was like from April. And we're talking, this was October, I believe, when we were doing this. So this was months had passed. I was like, I've been in and seen you guys multiple times, and I've never had a copay. I've never had anything. No one's ever told me I had this bill, and you're giving me a day to come up with $1,000. And it was like a whole ordeal. I tried working out with the lady. I was like, my IVF is covered 100%. I was like, this is like $30,000 that I'm giving you, and just give me more time to come up with $1,000. I'll pay it. And it was more of, at that point, it was more of the way that she treated me than it was the money. And I was like, well, I'm not paying it then because, I've been with you guys for so long. I cried. I was so upset, if you guys remember. Well, I ended up moving to this new doctor, SIU Infertility Clinic, and I went and seen him one time. He told me he didn't want to do IVF straight away because he thought that there was another reason why I wasn't getting pregnant, and that it wasn't just my PCOS, because my eggs I should have gotten pregnant through IUI if it was just PCOS because we had confirmed ovulation or whatever. And he was basically like, I need to see your medical records. Well, Barnes Jewish was refusing to fax them because they were being little bitches, and I couldn't get a copy of them forever. And it was just like, basically, this doctor refused to treat me until I seen him because he didn't want to do repeat testing. And then they refused to send them to me. So it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I finally got a copy in my hand. They mailed them to me. I took a copy of them, and then I went to fax them myself. Me and my husband probably faxed them at least over 20 times to this new doctor. Different times of the day, different days of the week, and it kept saying busy. We tried different fax machines, it just didn't work. And I eventually, I let them know. I was like, hey, I can't get you guys my records. This is really, pissing me off. You guys won't treat me. 3 months go by. Like, it's just, we're fighting and fighting with these guys. I finally mail them, like hand mail them a fucking copy last week. And I tracked it, and they received it Tuesday of last week, and no one ever called me. I wrote like a big permanent marker, call me when you receive these, give them my phone number, my name. They never called me. I called them this morning. I'm like, hey, did you guys receive my medical records? And she's like, well, we'll have a nurse call you and determine if they've received them. I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting. 2 o'clock comes around. This was at 8. I called them when they opened. I call them back. I'm like, hey, have you received my medical records? The receptionist lady is like, I asked her, hey, can I speak to a nurse? She's like, okay, well, it looks like you've received your medical records. Is it something about that? And I'm like, I didn't know if I received my medical records. And she's like, well, they noted in your chart that they received them this morning, which is complete bullshit because I know they received them last week. And I was like, well, no one ever called me. I was like, I need to schedule an appointment today. Like, I need to get in there and do this. I've been wasting months. My IVF is covered until the end of this year, and now I'm running on borrowed time. Like, my deductible resets in January, and they don't understand how bad they've screwed me. And I'm like, okay, can I see someone like today? She's like, well, I can't schedule the appointments until a nurse talks to you about your medical records. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? She's like, well, I'll send out another note and they'll call you today. If they don't call me by today, well, either way, I'm looking for a new doctor. But this is like the last straw. If they don't contact me by today, I'm done. I've waited 3 months. And I had to force my period. I tried starting birth control to preserve some of my eggs, or at least my hormones, and I couldn't take those because they gave me a random birth control pill without even discussing it with me. The hormones were absolutely horrendous. They were worse. I'd rather not take them. So basically now I'm about a week off of birth control. I took it for like 6 days, and I'm basically still wasting time, you know? I just don't understand. So I called a couple different places in St. Louis and to see if they take my insurance. So my insurance now is Health Alliance, and my insurance is switching to Cigna in January, which my deductible will reset. So anybody who's watching this, I'm in Southern Illinois. If there is anywhere within like a 3-hour drive, like Springfield, St. Louis, I mean, worst comes to worst, I'm considering driving up to Chicago, which is a 5.5-hour drive. But anywhere in that region, whether it's Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Missouri, or Northern Illinois, I need somebody. I need a specialist. I need somebody who's going to pay attention to me and listen to me, because we've been trying with a doctor for almost 3 years now, and I'm still not pregnant, and I haven't even done IVF, and I've only done 2 IUIs. And I just feel like I keep getting tossed around, and nobody's taking me seriously, and it's very, very frustrating for me. So, if anybody, you know, around there knows of any decent doctors, I would greatly appreciate it. But basically, you know, we got all of my health conditions cleared. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get pregnant. And we're still kind of stuck in a bubble right now because nobody is working with me. And I don't understand why, because my insurance is 100% covering everything. So it's not like it's inability to pay. It's just very, very frustrating right now. So that's what's going on. Give me some tips or something in the comments. I will read all of them and look into all of them, because I'm very frustrated right now. And I was told myself that January this year I'll be pregnant by Christmas, and here I am a month away, not even close to being pregnant, and I'm very, very upset over it. So thank you guys for watching and sticking with me, those of you who have, and we will get there eventually. I'm confident that I will get there and I will be pregnant. But it's just a matter of finding the right doctor and the right time. So thank you guys for watching, and as soon as I hear something, I will give you guys an update. I feel healthy enough to get back into the routine of doing this, with my heart, my gallbladder, and everything like that. So you guys should be seeing a little bit more of me, and hopefully we can get back into this routine of testing and, you know, seeing that positive result. So thank you guys for hanging in there with me, and I will talk to you hopefully next week.